Is intelligence a measure of genetic influences or environmental influences? This can be studied via the heritability coefficient, which is the amount of variation within a group that is due to hereditary to a characteristic. So for example, it would be a positive of 0.5 for intelligence. This can be shown through twin studies. So this is going to provide a higher correlation between identical twins at a correlation of 86 and a lower correlation between fraternal twins at a correlation of 60. This is due to a higher genetic material being matched between identical twins than fraternal twins, yet both are still pretty high. A good example of twin studies would be the 209 pairs of twins had their intelligence scores tested at the ages of 5, 7, 10 and then finally 12. The resulting correlations were high. Between the ages of 5 and 10, the resulting correlation was 0.65. Between the ages of 7 and 10, the resulting correlation was 0.72. And then finally, between the ages of 10 and 12, the correlation was at 0.78. The reason for the increase in correlation would be because as the children got older, they would have attended school and given the opportunity to let their genetic intelligence be revealed. So these positive correlations could suggest that the level of intelligence is linked with genetics that you would get from your parents or ancestors. As the pairs of twins get older, the correlations of intelligence get higher, signifying that regardless of the environment, they were highly similar in intelligence scores, indicating genetic factors with a greater influence. Then, environmental factors. Okay? The family and home impact. Sibling studies, which were significant 2.32, adopted non-biological siblings raised together, and at 0.22 for biological siblings raised apart. This would suggest that genetic factors were not the main predictor of intelligence, rather environment was. Culture. In some cultures, intelligence is gender biased. For example, in Saudi Arabia, women are less intelligent because of the fact that they are considered less important in daily roles of life. Now, a good example of this is that in 1986, 56% of children between 6 and 11 attended primary education. Of this 56%, only 48% were female. This percentage got lower in secondary education, with only 31% of children aged 12 to 16 being in in secondary education, and only 26 of these people being female. This lack of education level in female Saudi Arabians is due to cultural acceptance that females are less important. This leads some females in the country to be less intelligent. Not all, but some. Regardless of how intelligent their families were. Now, the lack of education opportunities could explain the low IQ average of 84% in Saudi Arabia. Furthermore, school influences, which are both a cause and an effect of intelligence, because intelligence is related to the success in school, and your success in school is related to how intelligent you may be. Furthermore, socioeconomic factors, which mean intelligence can be altered due to economic situation of the family. For example, children growing up in less wealthy families, such as families in South Africa, would be less intelligent due to the fact that their primary education and secondary education both have to be paid for. They do not come free. Like in the UK, we have free education for people up to the age of 16, and further studies if needs be, for example A-levels or tech, both free options. Children in Africa typically leave school between the ages of 6 and 11, and as I've previously said, people in the UK do not leave school until the age of 16 because we are paid up until that point. Then finally, better circumstances. Children living in wealthier countries will have better access to education because more of their money in the economy is spent on education. The children in the UK typically leaving at the age of 16 is because they are required to. We are not allowed to leave until we are 16. Neither primary or secondary education is free in South Africa, which leads to major issues regarding paying for their children's educations. The average IQ in the UK is 100, while the average IQ in South Africa is only 77. Now, this places the UK at number 7 in the list of IQ countries and places South Africa in number 30, which is an extreme difference. Thank you.